Hello and welcome to another edition of The Ripple Effect, thanks to Solidarity Community Federal Credit Union. That's where we're from. I'm Jessica Ausbrook alongside my other Solidarity sister,
Kim Graves.
Yeah, here she is, Kim Graves.
Yay, yay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. So today we have Christy High here from Ainsley Angels, and did a little bit of research, and I watched your video. I was tearing up just because it was so impactful, powerful, and just the goals that you guys are trying to achieve and the things that you're doing and the run. I was beside myself because this is the first time I've actually even heard of your non-for-profit. So I am turning it over to you, Christy.
Let's start with, what do you do? What is Ainsley's Angels?
So Ainsley's Angels is a nationwide nonprofit, and we are the North Central Indiana Ambassadorship, and I am the North Central Indiana Ambassador, and we promote all-inclusive communities. So we go out there, we provide opportunities or find opportunities for our members to participate and be included in their community. And we also try to educate the community on what it means to be an all-inclusive space for our members.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I think that's
Christy,
important.
what does all-inclusive mean? If you could spell it out for everybody.
I would love to do that. So, I sometimes when you talk about this, so I'm a teacher by trade, and then this is what I do in my spare time. So a lot of times when people hear the word inclusion, they think about school. They think about inclusion in schools, inclusive classrooms, inclusive practices. But I try to explain it to people that inclusion isn't just something that we do. It is a way of living your life. It is embedded in the way that you think about planning an activity, the way that architects might plan about building a space.
Right.
And so inclusion isn't just for some people some of the time. It's for everyone, everywhere, all of the time.
And it doesn't matter
Yeah.
what they're being included for, or if you like it or not. Like, it's important to include everybody. That's how we keep people happy and in our community.
That's right.
Yeah, everybody wants to belong.
That's right.
And
Everybody
just be a
does.
part. And so when you exclude that one person, your program is here to say, hey, we don't exclude that one person.
No, and a lot of it is because, when you have a loved one with a disability, they require a lot of care, usually by other family members or by friends. And they want to spend time with their family members, and they want to take part in activities with their family members in the community. And so when you don't have a space that can include everyone, you're not just excluding one person, you're excluding that family, and it's a lonely place to be.
Right.
And so that was a personal experience that we had. And then through Ainsley's Angels, we've been able to experience that sense of community and family, and we wanted to bring it here to North Central Indiana.
Now, we talked about inclusivity. You guys do activities, you go to events. Tell us how you participate.
So one of the main ways that we participate in events in our community is we get involved with local race directors, and we do 5Ks, half marathons. We have a triathlon coming up at the end of this month in Noblesville.
In Indiana
It is in
somewhere.
Indiana.
Yeah.
Noblesville, Morse Lake or Morse Reservoir.
It's not just about you getting out there and running.
Yes, because I don't run.
Yeah,
I am not a runner.
But it's not about the people that want to participate and just go out there and just start running. Because of the video that I watched that you guys have on your website, it's more than that.
It is so much more. So we have a saying, strangers yesterday, friends today, family forever. And that's really what we are building is relationships. We're matching up individuals in our angel teams that then go on to have friendships outside of race day. And that's exactly what we want, because that's where the connection comes in. We want people to feel connected. We want them to feel empowered. We want to just open up their view and their scope on what's available for them, because there is no limit if we can plan together and think ahead. Like for someone to be able to come to this event, what kind of things would we need? I was speaking at the Richville Park Board recently, and we were talking about an inclusive or a playground for all. And one of the things that they really wanted was a restroom. And I asked them, I said, well, will this restroom be accessible? And they said, well, it will be ADA accessible. And I said, well, ADA compliant does not equal accessibility.
Right.
And that just was very mind-blowing for some of them, because if you don't live in the world of caregiving, you don't know what shortcomings there are. And that's something that we are educating about. And so when they do complete the playground and the restroom, not only will it be accessible, like a large restroom for individuals who need a helper in there, or they have a wheelchair that they have to navigate with, but it will also have an adult-sized changing table in there for our adults who need to have their cares or their needs met.
Right.
So,
And a lot
Which
of the
is pretty
equipment
cool.
there is going to be great for everybody.
absolutely, that's why it's a playground for all. They did some fundraising in the schools, and what their slogan was, we're better together.
Yeah.
Better together. I love that. Are they promoting that in all of the schools or just?
They did it at Western. I don't know that because it's a local playground,
Right.
and there are other things available in other places. I think they focused more on the Risherville area for the fundraising in terms of where the kids were fundraising. And then all the kids that got to fundraise at least $50, they'll have their name on a sign that says, "We built this playground together."
That's cool.
That is cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that you got involved with Ainsley's Angels through your chapter. What led you to start this chapter here in North Central Indiana?
So that's a little bit of a story, but I'll be as succinct as possible.
We got time.
So, I have a daughter named Kendall Jade, and Kendall Jade was born with cerebral palsy and a seizure disorder, and her needs are complex. And so she requires that someone help her meet all of her needs. And so in 2011, she got chosen for a Make-A-Wish because of her seizure disorder.
Oh, wow.
And we went, and it was amazing. It was so magical because we stepped outside of the sphere where we were living. That's all doctor's appointments and therapies and school and medicines and all the equipment and all of the things. And we stepped into this sphere of, this is a vacation for your family, and it's a vacation for the whole family, and we want you to make memories with your whole family. And everything we did in that space, so we stayed at a place called Give Kids the World, and everything at Give Kids the World is 100% accessible. Their rides have a spot for a chair to go on, so your loved one doesn't have to transfer out of the seat. They have just everything there. And when we came home, I was depressed. I was so sad to come back to the humdrum.
Sure.
And I just didn't know how to get that feeling back, right? So I started doing some volunteering, but Give Kids the World is in Florida, and I live here in Indiana, and that's not very feasible to volunteer very frequently. And then on Facebook, I found this group. A friend of mine told me about this group called I Run for Michael, and it's a nonprofit group where you match up someone with disabilities with someone who is a runner, or they might lift weights, or they might be a swimmer, whatever. And they kind of developed like this relationship on Facebook, just like a support group, just a friendship. I decided to put Kendall's name in, and we were matched on New Year's Day of 2016 with a man named Kim Rossiter. He goes by Rooster. And I
love a man with a nickname.
Listen, I know. I got this friend request from this guy named Rooster, and at first I was like, Rooster? Is this spam? Is this real? But it was, and we got to know each other's families, and it turns out that Rooster is also the president and co-founder of Ainsley's Angels of America, but we didn't know that at the time. So we're getting to know each other. Found out he has a daughter named Ainsley. Ainsley also has a disability, although hers was different than Kendall's. She had a disorder called INAD, infantile neuroaxonal dystrophy, and her toxins. Her body could not rid itself of toxins, and so they built up over time. And it did take her life 53 days after we were matched.
Wow.
And so we were really sad. Obviously, we had never met Ainsley, but already our lives felt like they had been impacted by her.
Sure.
And as we continued to get to know the family through this, Rooster had set a goal for himself for running for Kendall, and it's April, and he's like, "Oh," I said, how are we going to celebrate it when you reach your goal?" Because at the time he was on a run streak, which meant he ran at least a mile every day.
Good for him.
Yes, yes. And so
Is he the one in the video?
Good job.
probably,
Yeah.
yes. I don't know. There's lots of videos, but probably. Do you watch just the video on the website?
It was on the
And
website
he's
that it was under.
carrying-
Yes.
Okay, so that's him carrying his daughter Ainsley. Yes, and so so that's Rooster.
He would take her on every run pretty much with him.
Every run that she could.
So
yes.
she got to, she got to experience the
All
whole
kinds of things.
thing. I mean, being outside, not being in the house, other people.
Participating
And it
in
was
a race.
just,
We had a part
it
of it.
was
Yeah.
That's right.
awesome. It was awesome.
It's very amazing and a big
Yes.
part of what we do.
Yeah.
So I said, "What are we going to do to celebrate this when you reach your goal?" And he said, "I've been thinking about it. I want you to call me." So I called him, and he said, "I want you to bring Kendall Jade to Sunset 5K in Lake Charles, Louisiana in July." And I said, "Louisiana? Lake Charles? That's almost in Texas." And he goes, "Well, aren't you a teacher?" And I said, "Well, yeah." And he goes, "Well, what else are you doing this summer?" I was like, "Oh, convicted." So we're always up for an adventure. We packed up the fam and we drove down to Lake Charles, Louisiana. And it was like something, it was like a family reunion. That's the best word I
people
have.
you'd
With
never met
people I've
before.
never met before. And we all just clicked. And then you go to the race and there's, you get there, and this is one of my favorite parts of any race, is when everyone is in their racing chairs, it's like a parking lot of empty chairs. Or when you first arrive and here are 50, adaptive racing chairs out just waiting for the riders to get inside of them. It's just so powerful. And so we get there and everybody's so happy and they're dancing and it's a big party and it's like a being embraced, even though in Louisiana in July you don't want to be embraced because it's
So hot.
very,
I
very moist.
Yeah.
It's very moist. Anyway, so it was amazing. And, leading up to this, I had been telling my husband, I really think that we need to bring Ainsley's Angels to where we are. And he goes, "Christy, you're nuts. You're already a teacher. We have these kids. You're already volunteering here. You're already doing this. We do not have time for this." And I'm like, okay. So we do
did it
this
anyway.
race. Yeah. We do this race. We are driving home. The kids are zonked out in the back, and we're almost home. And he goes, "Christy?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "You have to do it." And I said, "Yeah, I know I do." Because feeling that feeling of being accepted regardless of what my child does. If she does or doesn't talk, or she has a seizure, or I have to use her feeding tube, or whatever her need is, it's just a part of the everyday for them.
Right.
And so when I talk to families and try to invite them to come experience something with us, I always tell them it's where the minority becomes the majority. Because I might take Kendall to the mall and we might not see another person in a wheelchair. We might go to, I was at the Strawberry Festival, and I think I saw a couple of people on the electric scooters, but we didn't see another person in a chair. And that doesn't mean that there wasn't a person there,
Right.
but they're not as numerous. And then you come to an event with us and we have 10, 12. At the ND Mini this year, we had 44 teams.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's just an amazing feeling to be part of this family unit.
And when you talk about teams, what does that mean?
So the Angel team is the heart and soul of the race day. So our athlete rider is the person who rides in the chair, and they do not have to be a wheelchair user all the time. Sometimes people think, well, my kiddo doesn't use a chair all the time. They don't have to. Our athlete riders have a disability that makes it difficult for them to participate without some type of support to be included. And so that's what the chair allows us to do. For most races, our athlete riders will start in the chair, but we have many of them who get out during the race and run, or who get out and cross the finish line
love
on their
that.
own 2 feet. So they don't have to ride in a chair all the time. And then our angel runners are the people who lend their legs to our riders to cross the finish line. But we also have guardian angels. And so that's a role like myself. and my lead guardian angel, my sister Misty. So we're the people behind the scenes. We're helping to organize things. We're setting up and tearing down equipment, coming to things like this on the podcast, you know, just educating in the community.
Now, what do you need? Do you need more partners? Do you need donations? How can we help as a community?
So as a community, one thing we really need is acceptance. And I know that sounds really odd, but it can be hard when you see someone and you don't have experience with a person with a disability. Sometimes people stare, sometimes they ignore. And I just encourage people, you know, we all have things that are unique and different about us. But when you meet my daughter, Kendall, she loves music. She loves dancing. She loves books. She loves to be outside. The likelihood is that you have more in common with the person than you don't. And so you should reach out, smile, say hi. But yes, community partners are always needed because behind the scenes, one of the things that we do is we don't want cost to ever be an obstacle for our families to participate in something. So we provide all the equipment. And the maintenance for the equipment. I have 2 equipment trailers. Those maintenance for those things costs money, and it's a consistent.
Well, it's not like trailers are cheap either.
No.
Because it's enclosed too, right?
Yes.
And it has a Solidarity logo on it.
Yes. And so does one of our chairs. But
So can they go to your website?
they can go to
and
our
make a
website.
donation?
You
Okay.
can go to the website. There is a spot there you can donate. And if you want to donate, you want to make sure you choose the North Central Indiana or NCI ambassadorship. That goes straight to us. 100% of any money raised by us stays right here locally.
Okay.
Because we're all volunteers, and we utilize it for equipment. We utilize it. Last year, we provided a dinner for our families. When we went to the mini, we provide a dinner for our families. We also provide a spot for them afterwards to congregate and celebrate.
Now, the runners or the walkers, there are a fair amount from Howard County and Kokomo who participate, right?
We do have a lot. So total members since our inception in 2016, we're at about 720 members.
That's so great.
Not everyone participates regularly, but we do have quite a few people getting our emails and getting our information. So
That's pretty cool. What is your website?
it is www.ainsleysangels.org.
Okay. And I strongly recommend having everybody go check out this website. There is so much information. Your mission, your vision, and your values are just so powerful to me. And I think they meant so much when I went out there. And I first looked at this because I was not familiar with your organization. And when I looked at this, I thought, wow, that is really powerful. And then when I watched the video right after that, I'm like, why have I never heard of your organization? And if there's a way that this podcast can reach out to people and let them know this is an important part of our everyday life. And like you said, acceptance is a big thing. And maybe we all just need to learn and adjust on what we need to do to make everyone feel like they are a part of the community.
That's absolutely true. And it can be a bigger part of your life than you realize because the disability community, the minority of disability, is the one minority that anyone can join at any time. And that's a scary
point.
thing to
That is
say.
frightening.
But an illness, an accident can cause a disability in an instant. And, we have to be thinking always in mind, is that how we want to be treated?
Right.
Is that what we would want? How would you deal if suddenly your ability to speak was taken or your ability to walk? And how would you function in your day-to-day? So
You'd have to figure it out for sure. It'd take a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
So if folks would like to get involved, maybe they want to run or maybe they have a rider, how do we get with you on that?
So the easiest way to do that is to visit our website, the ainsleyangels.org, and there's a button you can click that says Join Now. And it is free to join. You can sign up as an angel runner if you want to lend your legs, and you don't have to be a fast runner.
Can you be a walker?
You can totally be a walker. I would tell everyone pace doesn't matter. If you're having a good time, everybody's having a good time. So, Angel Runner, if you have a loved one with a disability, we take ages 2 and up. And the only reason we have to start at 2 is we need them to be big enough to fit in the chairs.
Sure.
Right.
We do have a variety of chairs to meet a variety of individuals' positioning needs and, size as they grow. We also need more guardians. We always need folks to volunteer their time and talents, whether it's on a race day or it's behind the scenes. And we also have a brand new role called Angel Ally. And an Angel Ally is someone who may not have time to volunteer on a regular basis with the organization, but who, like yourselves, want to help get the word out there, feel like our mission is important, and want to spread the word. And so, like I said, it's free to sign up. It only takes a minute. You get an email about every month from me that says, here are upcoming events.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not bad. And so, we always tell people if they're not sure, sign up and show up. Just try it.
Yep.
So
I like that.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Just amazing.
It really is. You're watching The Ripple Effect with Solidarity Community Federal Credit Union. I'm Jessica. This is Kim, and Christy is with us from Ainsley's Angels. And Christy, if we want more information, if we want to reach out to you, how do we do it?
you can email me. My email is Christy, Kristy, at Ainsley'sAngels.org. You can also reach out through our Facebook page. If you go to Facebook, we are the @AA Indiana. And that's our Facebook page. So the website's going to show you everything that's happening nationally. And you can find things on there like events for North Central Indiana. But if you really want to see what we've been doing and the impact we've been making, visit our Facebook page and check out the photos.
There really is something for everybody with your organization.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's a great way to help
I
out,
know.
too.
It's
So-
awesome. It's amazing work
Yeah.
that you all are doing.
Well,
so.
thank you so much. We're really excited.
And I'm glad we were able to bring this all out here because if anybody doesn't know about it, they do now by the time we're done.
Yeah.
They definitely do. This is The Ripple Effect from Solidarity Community Federal Credit Union. A big thanks to Christy for joining us.
Thanks, Christy.
And we'll
Thank you,
see you
guys.
next time.